welcome. Glad you could join me. Today, I thought we'd try and make a Bob Ross painting, but with a little twist. So, instead of regular old canvas and paint, I'm gonna be doing pancake art. So, if you want, you can join along or just watch and relax. Either way, I hope you enjoy. So, just a little bit of an FYI. I've never done pancake art before prior to this video, so don't be expecting some high quality, artistry here. So the painting that we're going to be recreating today is Bob Ross's Gray Mountain from Season 24, Episode 1. We're going to start off by making our batter. Now, I want you to embody your inner Goldilocks and make sure that your batter isn't too runny or too thick, or else it's just going to be too hard to work with. Next, we're going to divide our batter. I needed 5 colors, so I divided my batter into 4 to be colored and had a little left over to act as my titanium white. Now on to coloring. So instead of your regular gel food coloring, I decided to try out these powdered food colors. For green, I used matcha. For purple, I used purple sweet potato. For pink, I used fuchsia hibiscus, and for black, I used activated charcoal. Quick tip, when coloring, only add a little bit at a time. Don't be like, me. This purple one threw me off a little bit. The powdered form is pink, but then once I started mixing it in, it turned purple. Also, are pancakes baking or cooking? Like, technically it's a cake, so it should be baking, but it's done on a stove, which I think qualifies it to be considered cooking, maybe? Now, if you want more control over your batter, I would highly suggest that you buy some squeeze or sauce bottles. As you can see, I tried using a funnel to put the batter into the bottles, but that was quite a struggle, so I just decided to just spoon it instead. And in case you were wondering, I got these bottles from Daiso, which is kind of like the Asian version of the Dollar Tree. So now it is finally time to start cooking. Or baking. Though I'm 90% sure it's probably cooking. That was loud. Okay. So I first began by painting my happy little trees. Now, as you can see, I used a very professional technique of taking a toothpick and combing through the batter to create the essence of tree leaves and branches. Unlike other forms of art, pancake art will have you work from the foreground to the background. That is why I started with the trees, moved on to the mountains, and then I did the background. Now, this time around with the toothpick technique, I want to try and emulate the palette strokes of Bob Ross and how he uses the palette to create texture within his paintings. Let me just take this real quick. Hello? Food Network? You want to give me my own cooking show? What? So to finish off this masterpiece, all I had left to complete was the background. Now, technically the water is kind of part of the midground, but since the water is more of a reflection of the sky, that is why I included it in the background portion of the pancake. It is now time to flip the pancake. Spatula. Big flip. This is it. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's just quickly discuss what is going on here. Going into this, I just set way too high of an expectation for myself. I at least expected it to look like 10% better than what it actually ended up being, but you know what, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. So looking on the brighter side of all of this, the pancake art kind of looks like an abstract, color blocked version of the painting. So I didn't totally fail, and at least you can kind of tell that it was supposed to be that painting. But I think if I didn't show you what it was supposed to be, you probably wouldn't be able to tell like any of the shapes. But yeah, other than like failed expectations, I think it turned out pretty good. After I flipped that pancake, I still had a good amount of batter left over, so I decided to give my Bob Ross recreation a second try. So round 2 was basically the same. I did my happy little trees and I used my toothpick technique. Then I moved on to the mountains and I tried using a fork because I was thinking it's just basically 4 toothpicks on one utensil, but that ended up failing, so I just gave up on that. And then finally I moved on to the background. I tried using the fork this time to blend to get that ombre look I was looking for. And here is final flip number 2. Wow. Okay, so let's discuss the second one now. Honestly, I think that the first one is the better one out of the two. The second one, it just doesn't look as like clean as the first one. There's all these like weird ridges and textures, and also those 2 pink dots. I don't know how those got under the green, because I just laid this green straight down and there was like nothing below it. So I don't know how that happened. It happened. But yeah, overall, I just think that the first one was the better attempt. Now, I did have an outro film for this video, but I just didn't like it. So here's a voiceover on top of some extra pancake art footage that I had. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Editing and recording all these voiceovers, it was kind of new to me, but I still had a ton of fun doing it. So maybe leave a like, maybe share. Also comment down below whether you think that pancakes are cooking or baking. And lastly, make sure to subscribe and click the notification bell so you get notified every time I post. Until next time, bye!